young old soul, aka the most dope. Better than most folk, cause all you men are so. Rarely got the flash, but my old soul, aka the. I'ma like this split first. I ain't get to do this the first time, look. The young old soul, aka the most dope. Better than most folk, cause all you men are so. Rarely got the flash, but my smile got the rose gold. Pockets getting fat off the logos, I'm old soul.
I know that's way better than what Premiere can do when it comes to like effects on sound.
That's true.
But if you already have someone in mind, then you're good. But if you can't think of anyone right now, if you need like a fallback, if someone else flops, like you could definitely hit me up for that because I could fully do that.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know. I'm not sure about you, but for me, like, I wish there was like 5 of me because.
Bro, this is literally the point that I'm at right now, and I think it's a point that you really have to like think about really, really hard, because it's an inevitable point you're gonna reach when you are trying to create things, and not only create things, but create things like on a timeline. Because, bro, we need help.
I know.
Like, we need help because that's how the burnout happens. And there's a book, I don't know if you, I could probably send you the file, the book file, so you can read it on your phone. It's called The E-Myth Revisited, and that book, like, it really changed my perspective, and it made me understand like what you're trying to do by like what you do when you create a business around a technical people, like a technical work that you do. Because what happens is you realize the one technical work you do is not the only thing involved in the projects that you want to come up with. Because now you have to deal with sound, you have to deal with managing people, you have to deal with creative consulting, creative direction, direction itself. You can't do all these. If you're doing all these things, you're going to move way too slow. You're going to get over the idea by the time it's executed. You're just going to be over it because it'll have been so much work for so long that you'll probably, as an artist, you're already thinking, you're so, like, we have ADD by nature because we're always just taking in ideas and like creating new ideas. So we have to be fast in executing ideas, or else we lose passion from really quick.
Those ideas been from a year ago.
Literally. And that's where the help comes in.
So here's the predicament with having help come in. Having help come in means that that means you need to have a reliable support group. If not, this is what happens to me. Everybody's flops. Everybody takes too long. Like the background, the score shouldn't have took as long as it should. I asked for it in February, I believe, last February. I got it like 3-4 months later, 5 months later.
Jesus.
So, and I paid for that too.
Oh, see, that's what I was gonna say. Cause I was gonna say, that's why you have to deploy money on it. That's why you have to place money on it. But if you're placing money on it, it's taking that long, man.
Oh, so it's like you live and you learn kind of thing.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now too. Cause I'm like, yeah, bro, you are way more lethal if you can hire people. There's another book. I could give you 2 books. I think those 2 books will connect very well together. One's by this author called Simon Sinek. It's called Start With Why. And the other one is E-Myth Revisited. I think there's a lot of parallels between them, which usually if there's 2 different books that are talking about a similar topic, and then there's big ideas that keep coming back, that's what you need to focus on. What's the big idea these 2 books are trying to get at? And both of them just talk about how as a leader, your job is not to necessarily be a technician. Your job is to be the instinct of the group that you're forming around the execution of your idea. You are the gut feeling. Like, you as an individual, you have your gut feelings, you have your limbic system, which is where your emotions are processed, and you have your neocortex, which is where you think and are rational. But all thoughts come from that initial instinct, because that initial instinct is like, it's what drives us. And in a business, as the head of the business, you are the the instinct of the business. As an entity, the business itself, you're an instinct. So your job actually, when you're looking to work with people, is to inspire them. And to inspire them, you do not necessarily need to talk about like the technicalities of what they're going to do as much as why they're going to do it in the first place. Because if you're constantly communicating why, you are inspiring people. And when they're inspired, they won't do it for you. They'll do it for themselves. And when they're doing it for themselves, they will get it done, and they will get it done well.
Yeah, I thought I was inspiring, you know? Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, when I pitched the ideas, everybody's like, yo, this is how I'm feeling right now, Dude, like, I could even do this for... So, it's more in the sense of, like, reliability.
You're going to have to do with that too, I think. Because people,
Accountability.
especially at our level, like, when people aren't necessarily, like, at our level, like, people... A lot of people need it to be, like, they need to have a deal. They need to be, like, inside the industry for them to feel like doing it in a professional manner. But I think that's a backwards way of looking at it. Because if you start acting like a professional, you kind of are just manifesting that into reality more and more.
Take it kind of thing, you know?
But a lot of people feel like they need an external thing before they feel it internally. Which is why at our level, dealing with people, you're going to have to deal with a lot of amateurs. And
Difference, the way you're saying the difference between an amateur and a professional is what?
A professional just gets it done. A professional just gets shit done. Like, especially, like, that's why a lot of people will be very, they'll put an emphasis on, like, people being very careful about what they say yes to. Because when you say yes, you take on that responsibility. And if you're a professional takes on responsibility and follows through. But a lot of niggas will say yes to spare your feelings without even considering whether or not they actually want to get into that project. And then after they say yes and then the responsibility comes through, they'll ghost you. They'll just come up with some shit. Oh, that came up. I can't. Yeah, bro, you have to deal with amateurs because a lot of people at our level do not understand that, like, to be a professional, you need to adopt that way of being before it's ever manifested ever. It's consistency.
Yeah, treat it like a job, really.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. And I don't know why people like take their like 9 to 5 so seriously when they don't even like fuck with it too. You know?
Exactly, and they don't even take the other shit they want to get into seriously too to replace the 9 to 5 eventually.
But like, yeah, I feel like essentially like like it's not. This is like the process of chopping wood, carrying water. Huh.
Just like day in the life ish, but yeah. I mean, kind of, yeah. Day in the life, but like you could freak it. You could go as crazy as you want with it. Like, it could be a day in the life if you want to frame it that way. If you don't want to frame it that way, you can make it about something else completely. That's what I'm saying. It's a blank canvas.
Okay.
You could just define what you think this is. But you'll get the clips first, and then you'll make your judgment calls.
Are you still cutting up the clips so I get the neat ones, or?
I have clips from like that's the thing. Like I can't do everything. That's what I mean. Like I need help. You know what I mean? So like I've fallen behind so many clips, and like I can't make space because responsibilities just keep piling up anyways.
I'm sorry, I can't believe you're still doing anorexia. I'm like it's kind of transformed. I'm seeing what it's becoming right now. That's what I'm trying to do with this. Because the thing is, managing these things, I love it as a series, and I like to do it consistently just for the sake of, it's an important form of documentation for me. So I have to keep doing it, because it's kind of like a documentation of like where my ideas were. Like if you consume all of everything that I put out, your understanding of the works that I put out is enhanced because you hear the ideas that were happening behind it, but ahead of time or around the time, what was I thinking about? What was I feeling? And
and then you see what was I doing on a day-to-day basis from the clips. So you hear what I'm thinking as I'm going through my day, and then you see the art that I also make from those days in the lives and those thoughts. That's kind of that's why I need this to keep happening.
This is crazy. So I'm seeing Childhood Carry Water #1. And your hair, you're such a little.
You see it, like the longer it goes, the older these clips get, the more it'll actually have an effect, because you'll be like, oh bro, I remember when like I was growing these dreads out. I was still making shit, I was still whatever, but I was dressed different, I was working on different, I was playing guitar, I was meditating outside for no reason.
Meditating outside for no reason.
At its base, it's still the same thing. I'm thinking things, I'm working on shit, but like I'm obviously a different person because I'm younger. You know what I mean? Like I knew less. I'm less of an adult. My dreads are shorter. Things are the same but different. I'm still chopping wood, carrying water, but everything around me is different.
Damn, this is crazy.
There's songs you've heard, bro, that like me working on them for the first time is in these clips. Like, I don't know if you know Found, the song Found. That's like, there's literally the full first session of that song being made is fully documented on Chocolate Carry Water. So think about this, like, if I die, like, you know what I mean? If I die, like, this is here, like, left behind.
And let's say within minutes 7 to 15 is you solely working on blue is my favorite color. Would you want that like to be kind of like timestamps too on YouTube?
The timestamping, I don't like, it's whatever. Like, oh, like you mean like that section? I put it in the timestamps as like a maybe.
Well, I mean, like, cause I don't think it'll take that much work. It's just like it'd be cool. Let's say you're going through it. You don't need to go through the whole.
Oh, I see. So it's like it's like kind of like a library, where you just pick. When if you just want to see the clip of this thing being worked on, you go straight to that time. Okay, yeah. I see what you. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because on YouTube, like you can do that now.
Yeah.
Let's say like the four minutes is this intro or whatever. Not.
That's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah.